I got a call from an auction house in New York, asking when they could pick up the antique collection for the sale. What sale? I asked. The sale your sister arranged, they said. You both signed the consignment papers last month. Except I never signed anything. My sister had forged my signature and was trying to sell our dead mother priceless collection without telling me. My name is Charlotte, and I am 30 years old. I live in Philadelphia, where I work as a librarian. My older sister, Vivian, is 34 and lives in Boston, where she works in finance. We were never particularly close growing up, but we were not enemies either. Just two sisters with different personalities and different lives who saw each other at holidays and family events. Our mother, Helen, died 8 months ago at the age of 68 from cancer. She had been sick for about a year before she passed. It was devastating for both Vivian and me. Our father had died when we were teenagers, so losing our mother meant we were now orphans. The grief was overwhelming. But our mother left behind something extraordinary. For over 40 years, she had been collecting antiques, not just any antiques. She specialized in 18th and 19th century American furniture, folk art, and decorative objects. She had an incredible eye and deep knowledge. She would travel all over the country going to estate sales auctions and antique shows. Over the decades, she built a collection that was famous in the antique world. Dealers knew her name. Museums borrowed pieces from her for exhibitions. Collectors envied what she had assembled. The collection was worth well over $1 million. Some individual pieces were worth $5,000 or $1,000 or more. Our mother never sold anything. She loved every piece. She could tell you the story of how she found each item, what made it special, what its history was. The collection was not just valuable financially. It was her life work, her passion, her legacy. When she got sick, she made very clear plans for what would happen to the collection after she died. She sat Vivian and me down and told us that the collection would be split equally between us. We could keep it together and share ownership. We could divide it up and each take half. Or we could sell it and split the money. The choice would be ours, but we had to make it together. She also made us promise something. She made us swear that if we did decide to sell, we would use a reputable auction house that understood the historical and artistic value of the pieces. She did not want her collection broken up and sold piecemeal to random buyers who did not appreciate what they were getting. She wanted it handled with care and respect. We both promised. Of course, Mom, we said. We will take care of everything properly. After she died, Vivian and I had to deal with the estate. The house had to be sold. Personal belongings had to be sorted through. Legal paperwork had to be filed. It was exhausting and emotional. The collection was stored in our mother house in a climate-controlled room she had specifically designed for it. After the funeral, Vivian and I discussed what to do with it. We both agreed we did not want to keep the physical collection. Neither of us had the space or the expertise to properly care for it. We decided we would sell it and split the proceeds. We agreed we would research auction houses and find the best one that specialized in American antiques and had a good reputation. We would do it the right way, the way our mother had asked us to. Or at least, that is what I thought we agreed to. About 2 months after the funeral, I moved back to Philadelphia. I had taken a leave from work to help settle the estate, but eventually I had to return to my life. Vivian stayed in Boston. She said she would handle the logistics of getting the collection cataloged and photographed for auction houses to review. I trusted her. She was my sister. She had always been responsible and organized. I figured she was better suited to handle the business side of things than I was. We stayed in touch over the next few months. She would text me updates, working on getting everything documented, talking to a few auction houses, making sure we get the best deal. I was busy getting back into my work routine, and honestly, I was still grieving. I did not push for details. I assumed Vivian would keep me informed, and that when it was time to make decisions, we would make them together. Then I got the phone call. It was a Tuesday afternoon in early October. I was at work shelving books when my phone rang. The caller ID showed a New York number I did not recognize. "Hello," I answered. "Hello, is this Charlotte Morrison?" the voice said. "Yes, this is Charlotte. This is Robert Chen from Hastings Auction House in New York. I am calling to confirm the pickup schedule for the Morrison collection. We have you scheduled for next Monday, but I wanted to verify that date still works for you." I was confused. "Pickup schedule? What are you talking about?" There was a pause. "The pickup of your mother antique collection. For the December auction. According to our records, you and your sister Vivian signed the consignment agreement last month." "I never signed any consignment agreement," I said. My heart was starting to race. Another pause. Longer this time. "I have the paperwork right here," Mr. Chen said. Dated September 15th. Signed by both you and Vivian Morrison. The collection is scheduled to be auctioned on December 10th. "Can you send me a copy of that paperwork?" I asked. "Right now." "Of course," he said. "May I have your email address?" I gave it to him. 2 minutes later, the documents appeared in my inbox. I opened them on my phone with shaking hands. There it was. A consignment agreement between Vivian Morrison and Charlotte Morrison and Hastings Auction House, agreeing to sell the Helen Morrison collection of American antiques at their December auction. Signatures from both of us at the bottom. Except my signature was not my signature. It looked close. Someone had practiced. But I know how I sign my name, and this was not it. The slant was wrong. The way the letters connected was wrong. This was a forgery. My sister had forged my signature. "Mr. Chen," I said, my voice shaking. "I never signed this document. This is not my signature. This is fraud." Silence on the other end of the line. "I need you to stop everything," I said. "Do not pick up that collection. Do not proceed with this sale. I am going to contact my lawyer immediately." "Miss Morrison, I understand this is concerning, but we have a signed contract." "A contract with a forged signature," I said. "Which makes it invalid. I am telling you right now I do not consent to this sale. If you proceed, I will sue you and everyone else involved." "Let me speak with my legal team," Mr. Chen said. "We will be in touch." He hung up. I sat there in the stacks of the library, feeling like the floor had dropped out from under me. My sister had forged my signature. She had tried to sell our mother collection without my knowledge or consent. She was trying to steal my inheritance. I called Vivian immediately. She answered on the third ring. "Hey Charlotte, what is up?" "What is up?" I said. "What is up is I just got a call from Hastings Auction House asking about pickup for the collection. The collection you apparently signed us up to sell. Using my forged signature." Silence. "Vivian," I said. "Tell me right now what is going on." "Charlotte, I can explain," she said. Her voice had changed, less casual, more defensive. "Then explain." "I was going to tell you," she said. "I just wanted to get everything set up first. Hastings is the best auction house for this kind of collection. They are going to get us the best prices." "That is not the point," I said. "The point is, you forged my signature. You committed fraud. You tried to sell our inheritance without telling me." "I did not forge anything," she said. "I signed for both of us. We already agreed we were going to sell. This was just taking care of the paperwork. We agreed we would decide together which auction house to use," I said. "We agreed we would both be involved in the process. You do not get to just sign my name without asking me." "You were busy," she said. "You were back in Philadelphia dealing with your own life. Someone had to take charge and handle this. I was doing you a favor." "A favor," I repeated. "Vivian, you committed a crime. Forging someone's signature is fraud. It is illegal." "Oh, come on," she said. "Do not be dramatic. We are sisters. We both want the same thing. To sell the collection and split the money." I just moved things along. "Without my consent," I said. "Without even telling me. How long were you planning to keep this a secret? Were you going to tell me before the auction? Or were you just going to wait until the money hit your account and then act surprised?" "Of course I was going to tell you," she said, but her voice lacked conviction. "I do not believe you," I said. "I think you were hoping I would never find out." I think you were planning to handle the whole sale yourself, control the process, and make sure you got what you wanted out of it. That is not true, she said. Then why forge my signature, I asked. Why not just call me and say, hey, Charlotte, I found a great auction house, can you sign these papers? Why go behind my back? She did not have a good answer to that. Because I was busy. Because I did not want to bother you. Because it was easier this way. None of those are good reasons, Vivian, I said. None of those justify forging my signature. So what are you going to do, she asked. Are you going to make a huge deal out of this? Turn this into some kind of legal battle over a technicality? It is not a technicality, I said. It is fraud. And yes, I am going to make a huge deal out of it. I am stopping this sale, and I am making sure you never have control over our mother collection again. You are being ridiculous, she said. I hung up. I immediately called a lawyer. A friend of mine from college worked in estate law. I explained the situation. She told me I needed to act fast. I needed to send a cease and desist letter to the auction house immediately. I needed to document everything. And I probably needed to file a police report for the forgery. I did all of those things. That same day, I sent a formal letter to Hastings Auction House informing them that my signature had been forged and that I did not consent to the sale. I sent copies of my real signature for comparison. I demanded they immediately cancel the consignment agreement. I also filed a police report in Philadelphia. The officer who took my statement said forgery cases between family members were complicated, but that I had done the right thing by documenting everything. The next day, I got a call from the legal department at Hastings. They had compared the signature on the contract to the samples I sent. They agreed it was not a match. They were canceling the consignment agreement and would not be proceeding with the sale. They also said they would be conducting an internal investigation into how the forgery had gotten past their verification process, and they deeply apologized for the situation. I felt a small sense of relief. The sale was stopped. The collection was safe. But now, I had to deal with Vivian. She called me that night. I could tell from her voice that the auction house had contacted her. I cannot believe you did this, she said. You got the sale canceled. Do you have any idea what you just cost us? I did not cost us anything, I said. You cost us the opportunity to work with that auction house by forging my signature. They were going to get us top dollar, she said. Now we have to start over. Find a different auction house. This is going to delay everything. Good, I said, because we are going to do this the right way this time. Together. With both of us actually involved in the decisions. I was trying to help, she said, by committing fraud, I said, by cutting me out of the process, by taking control of something that belonged to both of us. You are blowing this way out of proportion, she said. I made one mistake. I should not have signed your name. Fine, I admit that, but you did not need to go nuclear and threaten to sue everyone. It was not one mistake, Vivian, I said. It was a deliberate choice. You chose to forge my signature. You chose to set up this sale without telling me. Those were not accidents. So now what, she asked. Are you going to punish me forever? Are we never going to be able to work together on this? I do not know, I said honestly. Right now, I do not trust you. You lied to me. You forged my signature. You tried to take control of our mother legacy without including me. How am I supposed to trust you after that? I am your sister, she said. And sisters are not supposed to steal from each other, I replied. We did not speak for 2 weeks after that. During that time, I did my own research. I contacted several reputable auction houses that specialized in American antiques. I got evaluations. I asked questions. I made sure I understood the process. Finally, I sent Vivian an email. I had found 3 auction houses that I thought were good options. I suggested we schedule calls with all 3 and then decide together which one to use. I also said that going forward, any paperwork would need to be signed by both of us in person or with notarized signatures. No exceptions. She responded agreeing to the plan, but her tone was cold. She was angry that I was insisting on so much oversight. She thought I was being controlling and paranoid, but I did not care. She had proven she could not be trusted. So I was going to protect myself and our mother legacy. We did the calls with the auction houses. We selected one together. This time when the contracts arrived, we both went to a notary in our respective cities and had our signatures verified before sending them in. The collection sold the following spring. The auction was incredibly successful. Collectors and museums from all over the country bid on the pieces. The final total was over $1.2 million. After the auction house fees and expenses, we each received about $5,500. It was a life-changing amount of money. I used my share to buy a house and put the rest in investments. I have no idea what Vivian did with hers. We barely spoke throughout the whole process, and after the sale was finalized, we stopped speaking altogether. The forgery destroyed our relationship, not just because she had done it, but because of what it revealed. My sister was willing to cut me out, to take control, to steal from me if it meant getting what she wanted. I could have forgiven a lot of things, but I could not forgive that. Our extended family tried to get us to reconcile. Our aunt called me and said we were all each other had left, that our mother would not have wanted us to be estranged over money, that this was not about money, it was about trust, it was about integrity, it was about respecting our mother wishes and each other rights. Vivian had violated all of that, and no amount of family pressure could make me forget what she had done. It has been almost a year since the sale. Vivian and I have not spoken. I heard through family that she got engaged and is planning a wedding. I was not invited. I do not expect to be. Sometimes I wonder if I should have handled things differently, if I should have been more forgiving, if I should have let the forgery slide in the interest of keeping the peace. But then, I remember that phone call from the auction house. The shock of seeing my forged signature on those documents. The realization that my own sister had been willing to steal from me. And I know I made the right choice. My name is Charlotte. I am 30 years old. My sister forged my signature to sell our late mother's famous antique collection without my knowledge or consent. I stopped the sale. I protected our inheritance. And I lost my relationship with my sister in the process. Would I do it again? Yes. Every time. Because some things matter more than family harmony. Things like honesty and integrity, and standing up for what is right even when it costs you. Our mother spent 40 years building that collection. She trusted Vivian and me to handle it with care and respect. I kept my promise to her. I made sure her legacy was honored. And if that meant losing my relationship with my sister then, that was a price I was willing to pay. Because at the end of the day, I have to live with myself. I have to look at myself in the mirror and know I did the right thing. Vivian will have to live with what she did, with the knowledge that she was willing to steal from her own sister, with the fact that her greed and need for control destroyed our relationship. That is her burden to carry. Not mine. I got my inheritance. I protected our mother legacy. And I learned a hard lesson about trusting people even when they are family. Especially when they are family.